Good morning. We outside, folks. We outside. We outside. Good morning, good people. Welcome, welcome, welcome to FYI. We're so happy that you folks have joined us this morning. You see, some of y'all is belling y'all chest. I want y'all know that. Don't come wrong. We funny. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Believe it or not, it's Wednesday, the third day of August already. Believe it or not, folks. We're having a fantastic time at this and we trust that you folks are as well. Share. Wherever you folks are joining us from, smash that emoji button for us and you know. You got to partner with us to keep us moving forward. We're going to make sure that we are shared to all the right places as well, guys. Welcome to FYI. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, folks. We're so privileged. We're so honored. We're pleased overall. It's a good day to be alive, folks. Good weather outside. We're expecting some rain during the course of the day, at least in the national capital city of Georgetown in Ghana. We broadcast live from, folks, and some other places. You might fare better. You might fare a little better than the rest of us. But we're happy nonetheless to have each and every one of you here. Ingrid Crawford, did I see you last night? Valerie and Edward Brooms, Sharon Alfonso. Guys, let us know if you're hearing. Let us know if you're hearing the I clearly. Welcome, guys. I'm so happy to be with you. You know, big people is wake up early. It's the young ones. After the morning after the night before, this can't surface. It's the young ones, folks. It's the young ones. You all know how we do it. Us big folks, we can rumble and we can get it back strong as ever. Go in at 4 and come out back at 5, but not them little ones. Them young ones need time. And they think they're ready, you know. They think they're ready to take over. But they know the rockings. They can't take the rockings. That's the problem. When they could take the rockings, some things is only learn big, you know. Some things is only learn. You see when they come out and say, we ready for take over, say, all right. Hey, mind, they say, you knows what you're asking for here, you know. You knows what you're asking for. Karen Black, the technicians are on duty. Sharon Alfonso Evans, the technicians are on duty this morning, folks. Darlene Dorset, Pinky Kerr. Pinky, good seeing you last night. Marlon Thomas, we there. Saw Marlon as well last night. Some of y'all is beer belly y'all chest. Some of y'all is at a bluff. Don't think y'all give me from Bartico. Good morning wherever you're joining us from. Whichever page you wonderful folks joining us from this morning, a very good morning to you. Some of y'all is some big bluffs. Me worry not, man. Me worry not. Unless you're in the diaspora. But Marlon Thomas lives in the diaspora and Marlon was home. I saw people from England, people from the USA at the rally last night. Right? They said, we there. Muret Reed, how you doing? Sean Carter, London in the house. Lena Jacobs, Joy Kosha. There's not a lot of joy for the people this morning, but you wake up saying, what is this here? Look what we have created. Quite a few things to share to you this morning, guys. And then we touch on the biggest issue this morning. Loretta Argyle, good to see you. Pamela Johnson, and again, Randall Benjamin, and all of the other folks who are joining us. I really want to say thanks to all of you who responded to our invitation to be at the rally last evening. I don't want to say it in a braggadocious way, but I had a lot. I think it was the bomb. That's just me, and that's my very conservative preliminary review. I think it was the bomb. Yep. Naomi Jockett asking me if I see my friend Alia. She's the first one getting the bell in her chest. First one. First person. Alia Waldron getting the bell in her chest. Right? You're leading me to think now that this Alia is not you know what I mean. Guys, but we're happy to have you folks here. Julian Mars and Tessa Isaacs, Grave Sandy, and all the other folks. I saw the other Grave Sandy out last evening as well. Diane Grave Sandy I saw out last evening. Alana Tang and all the other folks. Sadie. I saw folks from Linden, Babis, West Coast. Folks, you came out and we are so grateful. We are so thankful that each and every one of you came out last evening and that you're here with us. Thanks for responding to our invitation. And you will have more invitations like that. Believe it or not, you are going to have more invitations like that. Simone Graves and Brenda Braffett, Sheena Hazel, Allison Richard, up top. Yep, that was the rally last night, folks. Up top, up top, up top, up top, up top. Good to have you, folks. Marine Coppin Williams, I feel like start fighting. I can't wait for till this evening. Chagabats and trench crappos. Like I feel like I can start fighting right now. Region 1 is here. Good to have Region 1. You know, all of the guys, all of the presenters last night represented, folks. Represented. You know, when you felt the energy of that massive crowd, I had to ditch the script, folks. I had to just ditch the script and pelt lashes. Chagabats and trench crappos. Good to have each and every one of you. Patricia Asana. Well done to all, says Loretta Argyle. Indeed. I want to thank all of those folks who really had the courage. You know, it's not easy times. It's not easy times at all. But I want to thank all of those who had the courage, the testicular fortitude, those who had the balls to come out last evening. And some of you healthy and strong. You're frightened. You're seeing. All right, we can deal with you another time. But I got some folks. Boots on the ground, folks. Chanel Smith Daniels is here, folks. Chanel, how is New York? How is New York to you? You know when some people going overseas, they know what they got to do. Right? FYI, Sherrod, I'll be out in the jurisdiction. Right? But you see when you're looking for people for ask back for the money that they borrow. You're fighting them. And then is when you know it's really money to borrow for. It's plane ticket and so on. Good morning, Chanel Smith Daniels. Good to see you there. Good to see you. Good to see you, Chanel. I hope you enjoy your foreign. You know, when you go foreign, you got to bring back things, eh? Don't just go and smile up and so on and, you know, take pictures. You got to bring back the things. The rest of it, you better stay. Folks, I want to see the emojis matching the shares, matching the amount of people who we got watching us. If each one of you share this broadcast, you know what that's going to do? Credible, valid information in the hands of people. You know, Marlene was telling me last evening, Marlene Thomas, who was there, who lives in the diaspora, and Marlene was there at Burnham Court. Full stop. Marlene was telling me when she was coming out, all dressed up, you know, in her theme colors. Some folks where she lives, locally were asking her where she's heading, and she said, you know, these people are coalition people. I asked her where she's heading. She said, I'm heading to the rally. I'm going to the rally. She said, but they didn't know. They didn't know. The point I'm making, that if we share the damn live, maybe those folks would have heard and know we had a rally and I'm blaming some of you. But those of you who knew, but young come, those of you who knew and young come, you know what the good book says? You know what the good book says? Penelope Grant, you know what the good book says? Candy Lindajit, you know what the good book says? You know the good book says, those of you who know the will of God and you do it not, Robo Kotayende, you shall be beaten with many stripes. You shall be beaten with many stripes. I remember my sister there who came out last night, who's always praying and speaking in tongues and has her Bible in hand. Those of you who know the will of God and you do it not, beat him with many stripes. You know, and this stripes start with a belly in your chest. Right? A lot of you, you know, I smile at y'all now. I can laugh at y'all now. When I see some of you asking and saying rather about boots on the ground. When some of you saying boots on the ground, I can ask, were you there on the second day of August 2022? Were you there at Parade Ground? Were you there on Burnham Court? Were you there? And then you can answer that, you know, all these strategists, right? And all of the militant ones and the political analysts. As Biganti told me, I was going to that wedding 2 Saturdays ago. Biganti said, "As a political analyst, you know, Mr. Duncan, all the political analysts and a lot of you, right? When I see the comments on social media, I can ask you, Naomi Joker, I see you. Naomi, did I see you? I want to see the photographs because we took a lot of photographs last evening with FYI family, with Ringsiders, with the Below the Belt crew. You know we do it. Lots of photographs. So if you say you were there, I want you to point out the photograph for you then. Isabella Button says, just arrived alive. Good to see you, Isabella and little Jacobs. Folks, we had a fantastic time. some of you guys who view us regularly, we group up last night and we talk, and it was big hug up and smooch up and kiss up and so on. Of course, we sanitize and so on. Like a show we catch you do the COVID that John Leo got and so, and no monkeypox this year, okay, and so forth. But guys, we had a fantastic time last night. Well, I want to thank all the presenters who did their thing. Mr. Norton, who had the feature presentation last evening, did a fantastic job as well. I saw, for instance, guys, share the live, man, shucks. I saw Tamara Waves giving a conservative figure of the attendance of the rally last evening at about 3,000 persons, according to them Waves. You know, them Waves ain't like we too much these couple of days since we out of office. They ain't like we too much. So when them Waves put a conservative estimate on the crowd last evening at 3,000, I think we ought to thank you guys, and we bow. We tip our hats, right? We bow to you folks who came out last and represented. That's what we got to do, folks. And I hope those of you who didn't have a chance to come out, do so the next time. After pelt the belly of chest. Don't think you get in spirit the belly of chest. After you get the belly of chest, come out next time and support. Right? Beatrice Selby, good to see you. And like this Mingo, but I tell you all, the big people could go home at 4, prep for work, and be at work at 5 o'clock. You see the young ones? They're now stretching. They want. The big ones just come out early. The young ones. Y'all call a name. I can listen. Alana Tang said, I love that vibe last night. Yes, Alana. The vibes was real up top. Right? To see all you folks and the hugs and the kissing. I even got a little small piece, Some folks were real diligent last night to bring their partnership contribution. Yep, and I'm so grateful, folks, all of you who brought a little small piece and said this is for the program to help you move forward. We are so grateful. Unfortunately, we don't run on water. Unfortunately. When that time comes, good folks, we are going to let you know. I keep telling you all, the big ones, we know, them young ones say we ready for take over. Let's clap now. We ready for take over. Right? But all know the enemy were taking them over because they're still stretching and turning and yarding. We out here, the old battle axe, fighting, ready, saying, we're the next rally there. And while we say we're the next rally there, we tie we shoelaces, we're the next battle there. We heading up, them young was now turning over. The dream and the sea like enormous and all kind of thing. Dan Grimm's handy is here. Dan was out, folks. Dan was out. I think I have somebody who's joining me. You see the young ones, folks? The young ones. And this can't make it. The young ones can't make it. You might hear some cheer dragging and so on. That's why you gotta move for some people pass. You step aside and let the little boy pass. Oh, the voice and two thing. But y'all not can make it in the arena if I put my mind to it. Y'all not can make it if I put my mind to it. The young ones, the thing they got what it takes, But we're bringing them in slowly. We're bringing them in slowly, very, very slowly. Somebody show up. Look story now. Look story now, folks. It's big trouble here. There's 3 things you don't make joke with. Old car, old stove. I can't remember the second one. Maybe y'all gonna remember in time. 3 things. 3 things you don't make joke with. Old car, old stove.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Good morning.
You remember the other one?
Good morning.
You remember the other one?
Red man.
That's you.
Red man is probably the other one. I'm not sure who.
Very problematic.
But
yeah. We old people, we wake up early, we drink, we bush, we good to go. You throw a little bit in your stomach, a little hot tea, and you gone. These young ones, they want fried plantain, bacon, eggs, all kinds of story.
I've never asked for it.
All kinds of story, the one. Yeah. Good to have you folks. Look who's joined us, Rita Finance.
Hello.
Rita was out there last night, loud, doing her thing. Morning, Rita.
Good morning.
I saw them waves put the estimate at 3,000 persons. I also saw
Damn waves.
yeah, damn waves. Same Jagabat, bro.
Pay my God.
I saw is it Kaitrin? You said hundreds.
Hundreds.
Of course, them waves gotta put in the little thing, right? You know they gotta put in the little job. I tell you, really good, you know.
What
really
did they
good.
say?
Right? You say, you know, they say a friend in power is a friend lost, but a friend out in power too. Right? 20 buses, you see like now, all in the article, 20 buses, something.
Where was that?
A lot of cars, 20
They post photos of the buses?
No, it's just text.
Oh, sorry. I would think if you saw 20 buses, you would have taken a
photo. And as we
photo.
say, if you don't have video, they happen. That's why we like to be live. And we got the video with the crowd. And you know the fact that I didn't see nobody talking about the crowd size last night. You know you did well. You know them Jagabats when they run out there. So it's 10 people stand up by a stage.
I was told that a particular somebody tried to fly a drone and the drone followed the air. They had to pick it up and run back in the direction of State House.
The drone like the economy falling. It's falling out. Yeah. But you're not fighting this morning. I ain't fighting the Jagabats. I ain't fighting the trench crappos this morning. Right? You know what I'm fighting this morning? Is the Alia Waldrons of this world. Right? You know we got some Jagabats right on this side.
Again, she's
we got some Jagabats right over this side.
She's at it again.
You know? Some trench crappos developing right in this side. Right? Sharon Alfonso asking, where is Amanza? Well, Amanza big, you know. Amanza big. Amanza big. Right? You see when you're sleeping out and so on, you got your own back quick to come out. That's the problem. Right? Pollyanna, we saw Pollyanna last night.
You know the hurtful part about
Pollyanna only last night.
I was up since before the sunrise.
Yep. Doing what? That's another story. Pollyanna shot. We saw Pollyanna last night. We took some pictures. Candace Narine was there last night as well. We saw Candace was all dolled up.
Oh my goodness, you should have seen Candy. I said, Candy,
come out.
We gotta send you out.
I said, this dude. Y'all know from the streets, right? Y'all never go back to the streets. This old body won't fetch nothing much. But Candy,
wow.
No. Candace been pulling in them millions, so like I will, like I feel. Pulling in them billions, boy. See Candy. Candy step out. I said, Candy. I always said, Candy, you are the wrong rally. This is the one them dress up rally. See Candy, she come out. You understand me? All now Candy was still outside looking fresh.
I saw Candy. I said,
fresh.
I said those eyes.
Yes.
You know, the lockdown anyway.
Yeah. I sure Candy had to start getting ready like 1 o'clock. You know, for the 5 o'clock start we had. You know, it was Candice step out last night. If you had the best dress, Candice got with it.
She got with it.
Candice step out. But we saw a lot of folks last night. A lot of folks. You know, so really and truly respect and manners to all of you.
What's going on in the comments?
When people get about, you recognize my true talents. You know, but some of you, it's y'all. This whole show, we ain't talking about nothing else but y'all. And I was saying it's boo.
You gotta be forgetting.
You know, all of these, what you call them, activists. As activists and so on, right? When y'all coming out, we ready. Hold my shot. He's the activists, right? I mean, see them last night, boy. They said police gonna start fighting gas, this, the. You don't get a big crowd like staying in.
You're talking about the online activists.
Yeah.
Keyboard specialist.
Yeah. Everything I see Lacho last night. Everything I see Lacho and Goberdan and so. You know, they're fast enough to come. But I'd have, you know, Shannon Smith Farron. Shannon Smith Farron, she said, I want the bump when this thing go down because I want, I told you also. So, you know, Shannon Smith Daniels the Farron. Shannon gone Farron. Pollyanna Schultz was there last. It was so good seeing so many of the people. Good. You know who was there too? Glycis Mingo Byrne we saw last evening as well. Right? And Glycis and Judy got the same height. I know like the boat from Bartica. Got the same height.
The disrespect doing that.
Yeah, and then somebody said they didn't know Judy was so thick. Actually, I can tell you. You get the full story.
It's right. Like,
right. Those Judy so thick and so on. They said they know how she thrived in this economy. You know, hold on, man. Get your nothing bun.
It's good, mine.
Get your nothing bun. You see how your face pulling.
good mind.
When the lack of
It's
sugar,
good mind.
the lack of sugar start hitting shit. And you start feeding off yourself. No.
Also, thank God for John.
You know.
For the little support.
Yeah.
God knows we couldn't do it on our
In
own
this season, you really need a partner to brace you. Right? I hope my wife thankful. I hope my wife thankful. And this season is in a partner to brace you.
But you know, I last and one of the persons that was there, like when she speaks, I'm like, you feel like at home. Rhonda
lane. folks, when Rhonda step out like a celebrity star, Rhonda said that, you know, Rhonda come out, Rhonda say word, for like 50 minutes, Rhonda stop. Everybody, Rhonda, it's Rhonda, Rhonda come. Right. People don't come and see me, they ain't come to see Norton. Right? They ain't come to see the political people. It's Rhonda. Rhonda come. For 50 minutes, it's just applause and adulation. You know, it's good seeing you folks out. Good seeing you folks out. Hey, Rhonda, tell us. Hey, Rhonda, tell us. Some bus, you're bringing down some of them. And like the mama guy in, right? All 11 o'clock, they're in region 3. All 11 a.m. for this 5 o'clock thing, they still park in region 3 at the other side of the Harwich. Rather I tell them, y'all live on your alone, y'all gonna meet me there. she started walking. Rhonda was there, folks, without a bead of perspiration, without any sweat. You know, folks, we had some good times last night.
Yeah, some of the things that it's good to hear. You know, as young politicians, young political activists, and so it's good to hear persons that was there before and that have been in struggle. Persons that have.
Hold 1 second. I see Pinky Kerr is joining us, and let me say this: this Pinky here is the first Pinky who didn't look like a Pinky. All them Pinkies I know in my life got a look. It's like a little polish with plenty Virago. I ain't say Viagra. Plenty Virago in them, you know. But this Pinky here was well put together. We saw Pinky. Thanks for coming out last night, Pinky.
Yes, Pinky, it was so good to see you. But I was saying it was good to hear like a lot of the older people that have been in struggles that have stepped up and made sure that they represented and they have done their bit. You know, one woman said that she knows about protests to the point that she would tell her children where she's going out. Yeah. You know, if I get arrested or anything, just bring. Yeah.
Don't bring bail money.
Don't bring bail money.
Don't waste money.
A tablet and a piece of cardboard.
Yeah. That touched me. That touched me. Right?
At that point, I
don't bother bail money. I don't
know about protests. At that point, I was convinced. Yeah. I don't know about protests.
Marlon says I'm still fired up, waiting for the next rally. I was energized. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. But I was touched when the woman said that. Woman said, "Send me children. Don't worry the bail money. Don't let me waste money. I know why." Bring the cardboard and my pressure tablets. Right? And that woman took us back. When they used to be marching around State House saying Janet must go. Well, I know that struggle. Yeah. If you're in this thing, are you still out here? Right? Since Janet was in, you outside and you still outside. You know about struggle. You know, some of we 2 mornings, we out here. I see some of you other punk critics watching, talking about things. You're businessman, but you're in politics, but you're commenting on political matters and so on. But look. We outside, folks. We outside. You know?
Nancy said the rally boosted us.
Yeah. We had a boost. Diane Gravesandi was there. Diane bit out early. Diane is a wealthy woman. Till Diane whole hair was gold last night. You know why? Because it's so much. It showed all her hair was gold. This wasn't gray, folks. This is gold. And not gold in like a shouting way. Gold like a real expensive way. Like you got to get bodyguards and so on. It was good seeing Diana out there last night, and all the other folks. You know who I saw too? I saw from names you might assume it's a lot of Afro-Guyanese, and you might be right in that assumption. I saw lots of our Indo-Guyanese folks who I thought might have been 1 or 2 trolls on the thing. I saw a lot of our Indo-Guyanese brothers and sisters came out last night and came and greeted me. Right? So, Mr. Duncan, a lot of men. And I was very touched by that.
It's
I was very touched by that.
I think one of the things that one of the things that makes me most convinced that we're on the right path in terms of getting information over to people and all of that is when you're having conversation with people like total strangers, and they're explaining to you the state of the economy and how they are living and how they see things going, and you understand that the message is being put over so that everyone understands very, very clearly what is going on in the country right now.
Yeah. Folks came out last night and we're happy about that. Tremendously happy about that. Drita! Where do we go from here, Drita?
Well, the first thing, I just want to touch on a few things on the morning paper, if I can.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
One of the first things you
happy.
would remember yesterday, we brought some of the information that has been circulating about the murdered Kanji businessman and the allegations surrounding that. Just a bit more of information being put out into these papers. It said the murdered Kanji businessman's phone found at suspect's house. So that I think that wasn't in the write-up with everything.
We spoke yesterday about
the allegation.
Yeah, the allegation and some sexual advances that were made and so on. And the man said
but now the businessman's phone is being found at the suspect's house. Like, it's one thing to say that this person was making sexual advances with you and you try to block them and all of that.
But the other thing is,
it's a whole lot.
In yesterday's article too, what some of the narrative was that I think a relative, two relatives, I think, found the body. They said it had to be somebody known to the suspect because the dogs, there was no forced entry to the house, and the dogs would have
well, that was clear. That was clear for, I think, from all the reports. So Shard is absolutely correct about that. The person did not break in per se, so there had to be someone that was let in freely. So that bit that you're seeing there, and of course, like Shard is saying, that the morning paper is basically covering the aspects of the rally yesterday afternoon to last night. And it says Norton calls to end discrimination by the PVP. And guys, that you were there, you heard the content of the speeches altogether. One of the underlying messages all from everyone is that we need a clean voters list to go into the next election, because you cannot go into the next election with a list as is. It's absolutely chaotic. It's crazy that you are subverting the will of the people before you even head to the polls if you go into that election in that manner. So that is something we call for. I know that some person stopped me along the line and they're asking, what can I do? What can I do to assist in this process? And I find it, it's very inspiring and give you what you need to push forward, that everybody wants to do their part to make sure that they can contribute towards the change. And I told folks, and I said, we have to be very vigilant. We have to realize the struggle is a struggle that we're all in. And when it comes to sanitizing lists and so forth, you yourself as citizens, they go and they post those lists. Those lists are on GCOM website, and then they go and they post it in public spaces and so forth. We have to make sure that person, you check, choose away, this person doesn't live here, this person migrated for years, this person died, and so forth. We have to make sure that we are extremely vigilant. So I'm absolutely happy to see the direction that people are going, and everyone actually willing to go the extra mile. I know Article 13, and I think we're going to be touching on this a little bit also. Article 13 is saying Article 13 says advent of PPPC has brought what's your corruption. And this is something we've been speaking about every day. But it's interesting to see, and I've been noting the articles coming out of the Article 13 grouping, and I have to say that they have been doing.
It's on the trend.
Yes, they have been doing a whole lot there. And guys, so we can go in, we can get into, and I have to touch before we come out to the morning papers. One of the things that we're looking at right now is the payout of education grants get on the way. That started yesterday. I did stop.
That's brewing this morning. I wanted to hear your opinion in, because they have one taken in.
Well, we're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how that goes, and later on in the discussion, we're going to get straight into that. But let's go into the morning brew.
Yep, I think we have that set. Thanks for asking, Judah. Folks, we've been following here since the week started this trip by Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House in the U.S., this trip to Taiwan. Well, she addressed the Taiwanese Parliament yesterday. I like Nancy's style.
Nancy,
Flap y'all. Flap y'all. You got to do what you got to do out here. People can talk, but you got to do what you got to do, right? Like Charlotte Smith Daniels, people say you're traveling steady, you just come back from the UK, you just come back from Turks and Caicos. Now you got to the States, is where you
Charlotte
business.
living her
So,
best
yeah,
life.
living
Yeah,
your best life. People
let
can
Charlotte
talk,
alone.
right? That's the Nancy spirit. You do, let they talk, let them fly the military aircraft, and all the threatenings that they're breathing. You let it do what they gotta do, and we can do what we gotta do. So Nancy went there and addressed the Taiwanese parliament and did her thing. Of course, China don't like that, right? You know, the Nancy just won't like his spirit. That's it. Don't waste time over them.
They just don't like the spirit.
No.
That's what it is.
Right? Not some Marlon Seafort and Maureen Coppin and Gwyneth Anderson and all the other folks. Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do. So we're following that. We're following that.
Oh, well, you know how all the muscling up. I don't know how else to put it that I see being done right about now by China. So we know and all the show of strength and force and all of that by the U.S. As it relates to protecting the Speaker of the House as they're over in Taiwan and all of that. But I know that there's a lot of commentary that's online that says, the sanctions, and I know sanctions have started. And I think that one of the things that was already put out is that China has blocked the importation of food items from Taiwan already. So they've already stopped that. Well, I always say this, so let me just put it over again. There is absolutely no struggle. There's absolutely no fight that doesn't involve that at the center of it is now money and economic power and all of those. That's what it is. You think people going out there because the goodness of their heart and all of those things, and it's crazy to see that it's all about the economic
It's all about
power.
the Benjamins.
So you literally have to get, and that's why it's important for you to choose representatives that's going to make sure that empowerment is equitable. You distribute these resources equitably and just not saturated in a specific area. And I say that because every time you saw it between Russia and Ukraine with the blocking off of importations and things like that. Now you're seeing it first act, trade barriers, blah, blah, blah. Right up. So you're going to start building that wall immediately because it hurts. It financially hurts the country.
Yeah.
And everyone goes down that.
So Command says that Nancy stated no autocracy, only democracy. Lovely.
Well, the US and their mantra when it comes to democracy.
Yeah, and they want no fake democracy.
Exactly.
If you go Eiffel University, you get a fake degree, so they want fake democracy and fake transparency and fake accountability. Must be the real deal. You got to go the whole measure. In addition to that, folks, as we come closer to home, the Trinidadians are always different. Well, them boys went and shoot up a Trinidadian police station, injuring a woman who was shot in the process. Yeah, they don't know what precipitated this, but some men just went and shoot up the police station.
It's getting from bad to worse, and Bravo, the cricketer, he had his bit. We mentioned that yesterday, and it's getting from bad to worse when it comes to the crime situation there. So I do know that a lot of work has to be done in that area because it's a system that has been built, a structure that needs to be dismantled.
Correct.
I always say when I speak about crime, you always go out and you see the little one, the little people, the petty criminals, as you refer to them, because they're committing petty crimes as it is being categorized. But you always see them, they're the ones that get pulled in. But the overarching structure and the strength of the crime system,
the structure,
that is what you have to break down. You have to dismantle it altogether.
It is the structure, as Truth says.
Candy having coffee without sugar, we understand the struggle.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's the taste of struggle right there. That's the taste of struggle. And Truth, we've come out of a period like that. There's a police station in East Rambla, the outpost, that was shut up once by the elements. We came out of all that, and we hope to God.
That's what it is.
We hope to God we don't go back there. Them boys come back, but we don't want to go back there. We didn't want to go back there. Them boys come back. And we can be talking about that.
We had some serious cases. The worst in my memory. Well, not the. There's several competing for the worst. I have to say, we had
and all under the last
two different massacres.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And all under them boys.
Bartico, we had the shootout at Kite News. We had some serious.
Lot of serious stuff here. A lot of serious stuff, and that's why And that's only at that extreme. What Article 13 group, of which York Mahadio is one of the familiar faces, hit the nail on the head here. You know, quite strangely, I read the lunatic one Freddie Kissoon.
Oh my!
Right?
You don't.
Freddie's at the age where you expose a lot of things. So, like, I don't want to be too rough on him, right? Because he's so frail now. You know, you expose a lot of things. You know, some people keep good, but some other people who had take a lot of Nigeria and so on, the elevator might meet that floor, right? And I said that to say this, that I would love to think that Young Mahadu and a lot of sensible people who are part of Article 13 group, they are reasonable, you know, and sensible people. Reading Freddie Kissoon this morning, right? I was out of toilet paper and I was said, well, something I have to do, and pick it up and say, well, and Freddie said he don't see nothing to be concerned about in the Irfan Ali government in the last 2 years. So when I read Article 13, which is in keeping with a whole host of commentators, I said, well, Freddie gone. If he going before, it's gone, he gone. It's gone, he gone.
You see, the thing is about me when it comes to Freddie Kissoon. I have read Freddie Kissoon's work when he was at his prime.
That was like 10 years ago.
No, it's very serious.
Yeah,
I've read his work when he was at his prime, and because I know the type of writing that he had put out back then, it is impossible for me to actually bring myself to read the garbage that he puts out now. And I say that because he has done some remarkable pieces back then. I believe it was a 2010 paper that he did, extremely detailed, not just him writing, blabbling a couple words without any evidence or any research done into it, you know, not like that, not like these little articles that he pushed out now. He did an amazing piece of writing, and he did amazing research with that 2010 paper.
Here this piece of nonsense that ain't got no place in the English language.
You try with that.
He says, I have seen none of the ominous indicators. My opinion is that it has not been 2 years of failure or mediocrity or lack of vision. It has been a solid 2 years performance. It has been a solid 2 years performance that if the passion and purpose is maintained, Dr. Ali should become a transformational leader.
Again, as I go back to when he was at his prime, you would understand my difficulty, because what he's saying now is like it is like it's not the same person. Right? If you it's not swing, it's ridiculous, because you do not allow yourself to lose any essence of credibility because of I don't know, is it
who pay your bills these days?
I don't know how to say. But you don't allow yourself to go down that road. You do not do research, in-depth research that proves racism, that proves that the PBB administration
actually
the public
provides
sector.
a framework in which to track it though.
Correct.
And you see the very map.
You don't do that work and then come back and pretend like you don't have this knowledge.
This guy is good. Earphone good, and because of Earphone, the whole thing good now. Right? I have not seen Freddie spend a word, much more a line or paragraph on Sugate. And you come and tell me.
But I think what he needs.
Give us a break. Let's move on. We don't have that this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's move on. But thanks to the work that Article 13 doing, meaningful work. Over to you, Charita. Over to you.
Well.
Really fine print. Them boys say 6 billion being injected into the local economy through the school cash grant. But Charita is really fine prints.
Oh my goodness. You know.
Charita is really fine prints. Notice I put up a good photograph of my girl Priya.
No, but you always put a good photographs of people. I even told you that when you were discussing Sayes Narayan. I told you I've never seen Sayes looking so good. I don't know where you found that photo.
You think I want to frighten our viewers and so on? So here is Priya cover girl.
But that was I think the photo that accompanied.
I didn't want to spell it for the viewers. I take out the installment instead. I put she instead of Kwame handing things to somebody, right? But You got really fine prints on this one, right? They have injected so much into this economy, and said it would have been good for us, but look, we're there still. So when you hear it, it can be good for you. It's good.
Yeah, a lot happened yesterday. I did check in with a lot of the schools, and so, and I have to, the private schools had a little more smoother system as opposed to the public, because there are more children in the public schools. So the private schools have less children. But even at the level of private school, the one private school that I went to yesterday, when I was checking in, the teacher was explaining to me, well, the teacher was saying to me that, they can't, what the announcement that did not go out prior is that although there's a man and his wife, they're living together, this is a husband and wife, they're raising their children and so forth, then the man showed up at the school or the woman shows up at the school to pick up the cash grant, and then they're saying that, oh, well, your name isn't the one recorded. So in order for you to get it, say, for example, the man showed up and his wife's name is there. So in order for him to get it now, he has to get an authorization from his wife to get it. So there was a lot. He said there was a lot of those hiccups as that went. Well, of course, people went and said that they returned the textbook. And they don't know what people are talking about. I said it was going to happen, and there were numerous reports of that. Persons saying that they returned the textbook and all that, that bit of chaos there. But I know the teachers, and I have to say that in this whole process, if there's one set of people that you have to say, they really stepped in and they worked, and it's the teachers. Yesterday they stepped in and they worked. They faced all of the abuse out with everybody, all the allegations, all the people that said, oh, well, the book was left in the school and all of those things. They took all the abuse out and they tried to push forward. But I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out and try to get some more. But there is a lot of the money now is having to be returned because of the private schools, for example. The ones that I visited said that they were only allocating that specific day.
Mohan Singh wants to know who pays you to. But Mohan, if you want to take it on.
What he says?
He wants to know who pays you to. I figure it's just he's talking about. That catch me because we are always in need of extra dollar to move forward. So Mohan, if you want to take it on.
Oh, who pays you to?
Yeah, Mohan Singh. If he wants to take it on.
Who pays you?
I want to let the money.
Stop. I can't.
Yeah, I don't want to let the comment go if one wants to come on board, if he wants to partner with us. Go right ahead. We got Zelle, PayPal, what's the other one? Cash App.
Yeah.
MMG. We're available via Western Union and via MoneyGram as well. And that's one thing I never refuse money. Rich people don't refuse money, and I am not, being as poor as I am, going to refuse. They call us the working poor. They work well. I'm working because Parliament out now. The man said no salary income, so the answer to you for the short of it is nobody right now, since Parliament is out and I'm not being paid. So if you want to take it on, Mohan, you go right ahead. I'm not gonna stop. I don't want to upset what the Lord is doing in your life at all by any means. So you go right ahead, Mohan. Go right ahead. All right, the Lord speaking to you. Don't resist.
Well, Jared completely threw me off. I lost my train of thinking about now.
Come between what the Lord did in Mohan's life. Go right ahead, Mohan.
Go right ahead. Make sure that all of you who wants to contribute, make sure you do your part and contribute.
Yeah, and I was saying to the folks, when I got,
who was the most
when I got to parade ground board, I'm called. Drita stuck $2,000 in my pocket. I said, well, I ain't even dance yet. I even do the anti-banty yet to brown girls, and she done keeping me ready. So, somebody done get you 2,000 and said, this is for the program. Yeah. So Mohan, we're not going to come in between what God is doing in your life and wants to do in your life. So go right ahead.
Some people, I have to say that the trolls on the that usually comes forward in all the pages, all opposition pages, they go on persons like Paul Posada, and so it was extremely upset.
People have been asking me to block Paul. Paul Posada up to last night. I one messaged me and said it's disgusting, what he says and so on. But now it's like a toss up. Do I block Paul? Do I block Alia Waldron? Who? Alia Paul. It's a toss up now.
Oh my goodness.
Who do I block? Right? Like I like the little bacchanal with Paul. Like it don't bother me. Look, folks, if you're on social media as much as we have to be, like my eyes blinded to some comments.
No, but I have to say, there's some persons that they were hoping that people did not show up at even, and I think Paul was one of them. So he was tremendously upset. That, and I think he still is. I don't know if he slept last night or whatever. He's raging because he's tremendously upset. That he didn't get the opportunity to come today and say, oh, nobody showed up. But I said to persons last time that was there, people were like, well, this is there's so many people out here. And I said to them, I said, I consistently remind the administration that do not take it for granted that people are quiet. Don't take it for granted that people, don't for 1 second believe that you are winning people over. Don't for 1 second believe that they are contented with the way things are.
Believes that.
Not because they're quiet. And I think the last thing was the beginning of the wake-up call for them, that people are not happy about what is going on right about now. And they don't care. I saw some old women out there, right? Braving it, and enough is enough.
Here Freddie ends his I don't know what this is, this eulogizing of the administration. He said, I think in ways to come before 2025 poll, Dr. Ali may have won over suspicious constituencies. It's because you're quiet.
Yeah, but I see Edward Brooms is asking if Leon is blocking. I think
Leon was outside last night. I tell you, it's possible like Leon, he's tired now. Only that is why he didn't come out yet. He's tired. Yeah. You understand me? I told you, Twitter, that the way Jack Dio running around here, he must end every single meeting. He can tire out himself. This whole COVID thing is fake. It's the 10 days he really want, He tired out himself. You cannot operate like a one-man show like that and expect to go down the road long.
But we have to. It's not.
Go over and tire with Leon.
Leon and Paul and those folks, and I'm going to make it my duty to stop acknowledging some of them. I think I'm going to particularly stop acknowledging for beginners Leon, because I did go back, and guys, I always tell you that when at the end of the program, I try my best to go back through the comments. And I did note some comments from Leon Gorbadan to be precisely him, that I deem to be extremely racist. And on that regard, I will not acknowledge somebody that goes down that line ever. I'm not going to block them. Guess what? Because at some point in time, you can accumulate all of that, and you can make a sound report to the ethnic relations committee, right? And let them take that from there. But you don't block them, because social media, the dynamics and the algorithms that deal with social media says, as much as they come on and comment, it adds to your ratings on a program. But what we will do is not acknowledge their comments.
You know who I saw last night too? Norris. Corwin King was out there.
Well, Norris is always out and about.
Yes, Norris. Respect and manners. Norris. Respect and manners.
Yes.
Right? Somebody says Leon is disrespectful, but Paul is okay. But that is the society in which we live in. And you may block people on Facebook, but really and truly, you got to contend with everybody on a daily basis.
You have to.
If you got a neighbor like Leon next to you, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? You love to build a big wall and block them out, but you really got to contend with them.
And what they're spewing into society, the way in which they're raising their children and all of that.
But I want to stay and see how we rise again and how we succeed. I really want to stay and have a ringside seat. I really want to see that. Yeah, and hopefully, in not too distant future, they realize that the course they're pursuing is a stupid one. And I said, if we can be them boys, then we're going to join them.
Yeah, but I do have to, and there is a group of young people that I know particularly wants to put together the evidence and with persons that make racist comments and take it in. I'm gonna encourage them to go down that path, because it is a lot. It is a lot.
It is.
And every time a report is made to the ERC, it needs to be publicized. Because we have to wait and see the length of time they take to actually meet and act on those reports.
ERC wrote to me once saying that they were concerned about a statement I made on social media. They said it didn't break any laws, but they were concerned and they were cautioning me.
Yeah.
I don't know how they basically on them and everybody else. I said I broke no laws, but then they were cautioning me. I think they're just like right.
Yeah, but we have a long way to go.
Well, let's be following, folks. we have been talking about this. People have some angst about what's been happening at not passport, the Ghana Post Office Corporation, and more in particular the GRO's office. I think these are births and death certificates, and not the post office. But the GRO's office is housed. They always make the distinction. They called me, said, Mr. Duncan, we do not handle birth certificate. That is the GRO. That's not us, right? Well, this one person says in this morning's papers, a letter to the editor, the papers withheld their name and identity, their identity. And the header for the letter to the editor was still waiting on renewal of birth certificates almost a year later. Remember, Friday said everything nice, right? You never fall them by over nothing. This person writes, all the relevant information was substituted from the older ones, and I have the receipts that were given to me at the time of application. I have no friends or acquaintance that works for the birth certification section, and the registrar is not easily accessible to common people. Right? Requests for reasons for such inordinate delay is always met with an unassailable explanation. That's the part of the letter read. They still waited a year later for birth certificate. Right? But I'll give me a transformational leader. I'll give you transformational.
I think Article 30 needs to look.
You can transform that.
You can't give people courses.
It's the little things. The little things we got to fix in this country, like light over a lengthy period of time, electricity supply, water running, and quality water in your tap. It's not big things. That's skyscrapers, right? It's not much. You judge them how much villages he visit, but when he bring, when he come, I would have loved to see them, sharing out money in Melanie, Damshana, Buxton, and so on. Right? As a matter of fact, in the ad in the papers, in the ad, when we were visiting Buxton, they said we will not be sharing out cash grants. But the go for say what they can bring later on, sometime down
the next spot boiling.
Right? But when you go to another village,
that's basically what they're saying. And it's not about just sharing out money. There are systems that are set up, and they have been making sure that the communities that they perceive to be their strongholds benefit from those systems when it comes to business grants and so forth. They set up shop and they make sure that they have persons on the ground teaching people how the processes that they have to go through and so forth. But when they go to the other areas now, this is an economic struggle, people. This is an economic struggle, and I don't give a damn about who tried to nice it up. I don't give a damn about who comes in and write articles to project as though it is all good and nice, because it's not. This is an economic struggle, and once somebody is stifling your pocket and your ability to elevate your standard of living, once somebody's blocking you from basic requirements when it comes to food, clothing, shelter, it's not okay. And we have to continue to speak about it.
It's a must. It's a must. And it's important because, again, it's not the big things. It's the little things. Now, we going back to this long wait for passport. And the excuse is, it's the logistics. If I could pick up myself right now, because of how we've opened back up to COVID, and go any part of the world, really and truly, right? The excuse they want to make, you can't get the materials to the thing because of some logistical challenge.
How did this backlog of the passport office come back again? Listen, when the coalition took office in 2015, we met that system. It's with the
line. Now. It's long lines and so on.
A little worse than what it is, but that's where we're gonna be. When we left there, you wanted to know if people were the lines were almost non-existent. The administration addressed every issue. You know how it was. We met the system corrupt. We met it in such a way that persons had to pass 20,000 on the table, and then somebody would go and push forward your document, and you can get it back at the end of the day. And all of those things, the administration went in and said, "Hey, this is nonsense. Everyone should." And if people are willing to pay to expedite this process, then let's just pay it into the system and expedite the process. Of course, people didn't like that. But it afforded the system to be better, and it was good, a smooth sailing and all of that. So it bugs my mind to think how this system has become sluggish again. because it's the same employees. I would like to think. I have to go and check and see was the the
Check for us.
staff
Check for us.
overturned there,
Check
but
for
I
us.
don't know.
Well, your boy Aline, talking about his 2 years,
Mm.
right? He said all our program have accelerated development.
Well, the thousands of folks that was
All
out there
our
last night,
programs.
back to the for.
Yeah, yeah,
They back to the
yeah,
for.
yeah. Might I disagree? Might I disagree? 2 years after, all our programs have accelerated development.
But I think he needs to say for whom. For
Yeah.
whom?
You see, when the president using words, even if Ali using words, I
For
wonder
who?
because he definitionally different, and sometimes he's rationalizing like transaction and business and transaction. So I don't know if he rationalization between accelerated and development or right, because movement is not the same as development.
Yeah.
Movement,
Correct.
right? They've moved through a lot of villages, right? Darrell in particular, he's moved through a lot of villages in the hinterland and so on. A lot of villages he moved through, right? But then develop,
In every way, shape, and form you can imagine.
right? Some of them 9 months later and so on. You see the difference, but not all of them develop, right? And locally here, visiting a village, one minister or 10, and there's no relief coming to the people, don't make no difference, don't make no sense. And people want meaningful relief, right? So I am not mindful one way or the other of people visiting Buxton or so on, right? If you went in 23 years, God knows it's time for you to go now, right? If you didn't Melanie Lamshan in 23 years, maybe it's time for go now, right? Better late than never, right? But what lasting change? And one of the major concerns is wealth transfer. I don't see the harassment with people in certain villages to get the cash grants, whether it's farmers cash grant, it's COVID cash grant, it's the schools cash grant, right? Is now high cost of living cash grant. I don't see them having a hassle. But I don't see the same for certain other villages. And people can tell you, Ganesh was articulating this point last night. They want to look at your pot, your bedroom, your toilet. They want blood samples too.
They basically don't want to give you the money. Oh goodness! Listen, let me just cut to the chase.
Yeah,
they don't want to give you the money. They don't want to give you the money because they're trying to see how much money they could keep to go and distribute with their friends and family. That's what they want to do.
Correct.
They don't want to give you the money.
Correct.
And that's what they're doing. And that's what happens when you take political operatives and put them on the ground to distribute government money.
Correct.
That is what is happening all over. I'm sick and tired of it. It's just about that time that I have no patience with it.
And as Rita said, the folks last night would beg to disagree that all of their programs have accelerated development. The folks last night said
they
beg to agree. I said the young people get them early. but sorry, the old people get them early, but
Ganesh come to say, and now join. Let's go. Y'all start over. Did this.
You just roll over and say, "Marty, bye."
I feel good about myself right now.
Yeah. Just roll over. That's a good life, That's a good life right there, right? Ganesh still rolling, rocking it, right? Somebody out here walking me so cases out. But folks, last night was interesting. We started our program talking about last night. I just looking at this picture here, and I'm a little energized. I'm a little fired up and ready to go, But, I negated to say to folks, come out also to the Friday nights by the Sabrok Market. Every Friday night.
Yes.
We negated to say, though. So our big issue this morning is the Apnu AFC and WP rally that took place last evening. Folks, that was ground zero. We promised you all ground zero. I think we delivered, right? And Mr. Norton said a couple of things there. One of which we talked about is this, the high cost of living. We talked about corruption. Freddie said everything nice.
I saw some. I was just looking at the crowd and I saw somebody at the very front of it.
Ali was it?
No, I saw some folks last night. Some young men that made their way down from Barbies yesterday. and they actually they organize themselves and to make sure that they were there, and it's good. It's good feeling. It's a good feeling that the young people they're sticking their hands in their pocket to make that trip.
And because of high gas prices,
I was surprised.
A lot of people seem to have carpool.
Yes.
Because of high gas prices, a lot of people seem to have carpool, which is a good thing. Either way, it helps the environment and then so on, right? Alia notably absent this morning. We got to put out a APB. I
don't like this attack on Alia. I am defending Alia this morning.
As Naomi says, Alia ain't come on the show today. I don't know. You got to think it's your well-being. A lot of people come down with COVID suddenly, and then when things pass over, that's COVID gone with the same speed. So we're watching all that. But last night, folks, was beautiful in the sense of people coming together after a little while. We didn't thing. We didn't want to necessarily show of force, but I keep pushing me and saying, yeah, there's a little pampy. Sorry.
Oh my goodness! Someone just wrote there that they don't like the system of persons distributing money, like that. It just breeds corruption basically. One of the things that yesterday that I forgot to mention about corruption, I'm going to be writing a piece on this particular one. Because it's not just this particular matter. I'm not just going to speak about it on this platform. I'm going to be writing in the media about it because I got reports yesterday, endless reports, that parents, poor people, people struggling to put food on their children's table. The children absent from school a significant portion of time because they're struggling. And they showed up to collect the cash grant and they were refused the cash grant because the teachers are saying that the ministry says that if the child don't come to school, then don't give out the money.
We said, right? And we said here, redefine Prince. 6 billion going into the local economy. Redefine Prince, eh?
Well, I'm going to be patiently waiting to hear how much money was returned to the coffers from that particular initiative, because the amount of persons that did not get it is significant. And that alone, it demands a forensic audit.
Yeah, and some of those issues were raised last evening at that rally at Burnham Court, parade ground there. Lots of other issues, folks, that needed ventilation in that very public way were ventilated. However, Mr. Norton also articulating why he didn't shake the hand of that. He said, we don't shake hands with oppressors.
Yeah.
Right? But Freddie on the other side, transformationally.
Mr. Norton, leader of the opposition, he's there, he's representing half of, at the very minimum, half of the country voted for the opposition representatives. And you are going to marginalize the people, and then you want to shake hands. But more significant for me is the MP from region number 5. Is 5 he is or 6? Vince Roy Jordan. And I want to speak specifically about him because he is in one of the photos. I mentioned it yesterday, but I have to drill it in a little bit more this morning. You do not go to somebody that when you took office, the people you took office, they sent him to Linden. He was working at GWI there. They sent him to Linden. They're trying to force him out. They're trying to force him to quit. They sent him, you reassigned, you got to work at the Linden office now. Absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason. He picked up and he went. His family is in Barbados, but nevertheless, he's going to go because he's a father. He needs to support his family, his wife and children. He went there. So when they realized that he's not going to quit the job like that, they had to come to the position of firing him. So when they fired him now, he's at a level of National Assembly. He's not getting employment. He's looking for employment back into the system. They're not going to hire him because I tell you, every single thing they try to attack your pocket. Every single thing they do is about money. And then they're going to suspend him from the National Assembly. And they say, we just don't want you to be absent from the National Assembly. We're not going to pay you. And then for an indefinite period, we're not going to pay you. And then you want Vince Roy to push out his hand and shake your hands.
And we care. Folks, that's not the case. But I think that's going to do it for us this morning, Julia. I see 917 here,
Oh my
strangely. So I'm
goodness.
wondering whether I see 917. Great to have had you folks. Stay fired up, stay ready to go. We're gonna let you guys know when the next rally is on.
Yes,
We're gonna
yes,
be front and
yes.
center because we fast too. Shirley Crichton, good to see you. Zola Cameron and Sean Alfonso Evans, Ingrid King, and all the other guys joining us. Y'all make the programs what they are. Share the live, smash the emoji button for us, and partner with us. Partner with us. Are you happy the fellow gone? We're actually who is pay us? He can take on the
Since you
task.
talk
Will
about the
help us.
money,
Will help
he
us.
disappeared.
Right, folks, we want you guys to partner with us. Believe it or not, we're still trying to overcome some of last month's expenses. Help us to do so as we move into this new month. More expenses wait us at the end of the month. Two things we do. There's always something to report on. The bills
Yes,
are always coming.
correct.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Like Mr. Duncan says, I miss all the beginning comments.
They were lit.
I'm gonna make up for
Fired up,
that in the morning.
fired up and ready to go. Thanks for joining us, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Be here for the podcast and everything else. You know what's up. Have a good day, guys.
Stay safe.